For the tile type reflection, let's set up the basic on that one here with a plus button to our default tile set. And you should see one that is going to be for reflection. Alright, so we'll go ahead and put this one in. Reflection, if you haven't seen it inside of the editor, be sure to check it out in the Build Game Editor side. But reflection itself, we'll scroll down here. And you can click on reflection tile type. This is just simply a 2D reflection system. In essence, it's going to take whatever in terms of the horizon line, whatever's below it, or whatever's above it, it is going to reflect to the parts below if it's within range. We'll go ahead and just set up the basic piece here. We'll say reflection and reflects image to water. We'll say a water plane, but technically whatever image you put into it, you could have it reflecting. Alright, general settings. The icon itself, we don't really care about seeing in game. We'll go ahead and put our thumbnail here. And when I say the icon, when you drop this one in, it's just going to be showing you during runtime, it'll only be the actual water reflecting. I'm going to turn off the collider. And actually thinking about collider, I don't think I turned collider off on this one. There we go. Okay, so on the reflection going down here, let's see. The main parts, if you have animations, if you want to run it, the standard event trigger, I believe that's set up for it on this one. Our main focus though on this one is just go down to the bottom here. And we've got just a couple of options for it. So the reflection position, the height, 50, meaning it's in the middle of the screen. There is a offset, so this is going to think height as horizon line. The offset is just moving the actual horizon line up and down. It's not changing the horizon line percentage. It's just saying that you want to move that up and down. And then you have the depth, forward and backward. The locking the camera, if I lock to camera X, left, right, that means that as I move, the water plane is going to stay with the camera. If it's not on Y, that means if my player started jumping up into the air, then the water would start going down below because the camera is following the player. You could lock it so that it always stays there. You might have a reason for it. And then flipping horizontal and vertical on the image itself. If you wanted it above or below or left, or you wanted it to be opposite, then flipping it on the horizontal you could. Alright, the visual side, this one definitely worth actually looking at inside a Build-A-Game so you can see it. The main part though is that there are 2 speeds for the water flowing left and right inside the scene, and it's just how fast you want it to flow in terms of the furthest point and closest point to the camera. If you have perspective link, you'll see that even more pronounced with it. Pixelate is literally just taking the image and pixelating the image so that if you wanted it to be more of a 8-bit style game, you can set it up for that. Distortion amount, if this is set to 0, it's a mirror image. And then the further out you get, the more warped it gets. And then the last thing is color. Then if you want to change, it's going to do in terms of colors, it's going to reflect whatever it sees here. So if it's this green, it'll be that green. But if you want a tint of blue, or you want a tint of green, like you want it to be mossy and swampy, or you want it to be crystal clear, then you'll change the tint color for that. And then also the alpha for how much you can see behind it. Alright, so that's all the parts for the reflection.